Hey ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to Tribes of Midgard, a recap of everything that's going and changing in Season 3 of Tribes of Midgard, and of course the Xbox and Nintendo Switch launch. If you don't know, Nintendo Switch will be launching in North America today, but sadly there is a delay for Europe and Asia. It won't be going live until the 1st September. But Xbox, that will be global everywhere today. So for older fans or people that want to hop in for the first time, see what's changed, here is all the patch notes. So the key notes, we got a new Ancient, and this is what all the Saga bosses are going to be called from now on. Surtur will be in his volcanic spire biome or dungeon, and we've got to clear out the volcanic lava outposts scattered around the world to finally get access. All of the Saga bosses are now referred to as Ancients. We've obviously got the brand new spear weapon, and we've got the new activity Fishing, as well as another great quality of life feature, the revamped game over screens, giving a complete breakdown of global results, team results and personal results. One of the biggest things that I've been excited for though is Survival 2.0. So the core gameplay mechanics are that it's no longer going to be locked behind level Season 2. You're going to have no village, so there's no village to defend at night. The days are going to be lasting longer at 20 minutes each. Hellthings will spawn sporadically throughout the environment at night but will not attack the seed of Yggdrasil. The Jotnar have their own arenas that you can choose to travel to and defeat wherever you want. They're also adding the brand new Saga quests in survival mode. Completing Saga quests unlocks brand new crafting stations. This will allow you to go obviously in your ships to new lands, get better loot and take on greater challenges. With the brand new survival modes, there is a new way to progress and unlock blessings. There's going to be over 90 different blessings that you can choose. Alongside that, the character level has been increased from 10 to 50 in survival mode only, and you don't share any of the character XP. Looks like they've changed up the season meta progression as well. Season XP is a chance to drop from activities. Defeating powerful enemies or raiding camps guarantees large amounts of Season XP. Season XP is automatically attributed to your account profile and contributes to season progress. So it looks like you won't have to leave the game anymore to guarantee or finish your world. You'll just basically earn XP as you play survival mode, and it will directly go to your reward track rather than having to finish that session before you get your rewards. The worlds of course have been increased, they're much larger now. Every player will start on a central continent and you'll be able to explore the open seas as they progress through the Saga quests. Beds will now serve as respawn points and you'll be able to craft a lot of this stuff at the brand new Allforge. Bonfires will keep you warm in cold climates as long as you deposit branches to keep the fires alive, and you can go ahead and craft your own fast travel points. This is great news, being able to place this stuff wherever you actually want it to. So they've shown off the Allforge before, and this is where we've been crafting all our benches and all the new building stuff maybe. The Allforge is located in the build menu, can be placed anywhere, free material costs, only one Allforge per person can be deployed at a time. So that does mean that you and some of your friends can survive on the world, and if you want to go ahead and build your own base somewhere off in other parts of the map or world, you can do. The Allforge will also repair equipment for standard souls costs, just like it is now. And everything, crafting stations, constructions and decorations are all crafted from the Allforge. They've updated the construction to be more modular and significantly more flexible. All the construction pieces are going to fit on a 1x1x1 area for increased interconnectivity. Walls, pillars, roofs and doors have been added. Constructions are going to be available in 3 different tiers, all with their different strength. And of course you will need different materials to craft them. And you are able to rotate the camera while in build menu. Let's hope they add this to the main game eventually. Constructions are able to be placed along the Z axis. The mallet is now triggered by default in the build menu and dismantled by highlighting the construction you want to remove. The mallet can also repair constructs in the build menu. Just because the Hellthings won't attack every night or the giants won't find you doesn't mean your base can't take any damage. The 2 cats from Freya, Solera and Maniko looks like they're going to be interactable for parts of story mode in survival, or basically triggering certain things in the environment. Survival is now showcased on the main play tab alongside Saga mode, and of course you can still play survival solo or with friends. So, survival mode, how much can you build? Well, there is a limit up to 500. They're going to look at increasing that limit, but at the moment it can cause games to crash sometimes, or desynchronous issues. Blessings update. Obviously there's 90 blessings overall in survival, but in Saga modes it's still the old traditional way to play, where you'll choose your class and go ahead and unlock the blessings you want. But every class is getting 2 brand new blessings and have done a significant rework. Effectively, they found that too many people were going just to the 1 or 2 classes because they were simply so powerful. Rather than nerf, they've gone for the idea that they're going to buff the rest of the classes to be as powerful. So the warrior class is the all-rounder. It's great for offensive, it's great for defensive. The two new blessings it's getting is Underdog and Warrior Gatherer. And they've also updated Reckless Roll, one of the blessings, to increase its value now. Especially since every class, when you do an evasive roll, you won't actually take any damage. So the new Underdog perk helps out if you're surrounded by enemies. You're going to do more damage with each enemy that's near. And this is a great one for this. You can now do a combo attack from any weapon that can break resources, retrieving their precious materials without tools. Everything's pretty much an axe. That is such a cool feature. That's a lot of love for one of the two starting classes. If you're brand new to the game, of course, you can only choose from the warrior and the ranger class until you unlock more. And because obviously the warrior used to have a special perk that was the reckless roll, you're going to be getting that extra invincibility when you roll, just a little bit longer than everyone else. So the Rangers obviously got new ones as well. Ulra's Step pretty much triggers a rain of arrows on your original position, dealing medium physical damage over time. And Ricochet, every arrow fired has a 50% chance to ricochet, bouncing up to 3 additional enemies. They've also updated Quickshot. Instead of affecting the arrow flight speed, it now affects the attack speed of bow combo attacks. So you'll be able to do even more bow damage in quicker fashion if you're now a ranger. Now the Guardian is meant to be the tank class. It hasn't really had too many adjustments, instead it's just got 2 new blessings. Pain Release 2 lets it all out. Gain increased attack and movement speed for 5 seconds after unleashing your pain. And then Unwavering. The judgment of Forseti is absolute. Stand your ground against any who would dare say otherwise by becoming immune to knockback effects. So really good if you are someone that just takes a lot of damage while other players are dealing with situations. Now one of the most OP classes was the Seer. It was also one of the toughest ones to get, certainly pretty long. Effectively the Seers became lone wolves and they weren't really helping out the rest of the team as they're meant to be more of a support class. So they've got 2 new ones as well. Yggdrasil's Roots 2. Enemies entering the seedlings radius receive damage from the roots of the world tree. I guess that's an AoE effect that does a lot of damage to anyone that comes within you. And then they've got Sacred Revive. Reviving allies now triggers a healing pool in the area, granting HP over time. And probably one of the best moves they've updated is Tempered. The aura that reduces temperature effects just for you has now been extended to your allies as well. So meaning if you choose this class and you've got someone to roll around with, you can really both go and explore some of the coldest regions or the hottest. So I do think this is great stuff. Then we got the Berserker. Undying Anger. You can self-revive when Wraith is not empty. This is a pretty cool one as you'll also gain some additional healing or health when you get up depending on how much wrath you have. And if you get straight into the fight you can recover HP when enemies are struck by your blast with wrath soothed. Obviously the Berserker is meant to be kind of the right in there melee action guy. They've also updated battle resistance too. Effectively you'll resist stun and slow effects now from 75% all the way up to 100%. So you will now be immune to stun and slow effects. The Hunter class was always a bit weak sauce. They did improve it for season 2, but now it's even better. Your decoy that you launch whenever you do a dive will now come with a bow and fire arrows at nearby enemies. That's what you get when you unlock Skarde's Spirit too. And then Skarde's Wolf. Roll to deploy Skarde's Kindred Spirit that will attack nearby enemies. So pretty similar in what they do. I'm guessing Skarde's Wolf is going to be a bit more close range, where Skarde's Spirit is obviously going to be hopefully better with long range. And does look like they've changed slightly Skarde's Spirit. Effectively you'll get a directional arrow showing where it's facing. Not, I would say, the best update for a class, but you know, maybe it's just in this right spot now after the changes in the last season to Hunter. So Sentinel is great with a shield and an axe or a sword. Shield Throw 2 allows you to throw 2 shields in quick succession, and Shield Ring 2 allows a spin of your shields around you twice instead of once, dealing extra damage and effects twice. So the Warden's meant to be your sort of scout class as well. It's great for utilities and logistics. Its new ability Secret Stash gives you pretty much all of your materials when you die, and its new rationing ability gives you a chance to gain a potion after you've consumed one. And best of all, I would say the updated cost of durability loss now reduces repair cost and equipment durability by 50%. So taking a look at the brand new blessings for the survival mode, and it's clear to see that there are still paths that you can take. And obviously you'll be able to upgrade 50 of the 90. I love this. This really shows that you'll be able to customize and create a character that you really want. Obviously you will be locked in at some point, and we'll have to see if they ever introduce something where you can reset your skills or stats. So moving on to combat changes, invincibility frames when invading. As I mentioned earlier, when you roll, now everyone's going to have an extra chance, or basically you won't take any damage. You just have to time it pretty well. You'll also be able to cancel evading or blocking, effectively to tweak the timing of how you use them. Successfully blocking enemy attacks with a shield will now reward additional mana. The better the shield, the more mana gained, and Guardians will synergise well with this change as their Refuse Judgment Blessing will allow them to gain even more mana per shield block. In parallel, you can now earn an amount of mana per attack regardless of how enemies were in that attack. And it looks like that change is applied to durability. Instead of losing durability with every swipe of maybe 2 enemies stuck together, you'll now only lose the durability from that one swing. It's not going to take into account the 2 enemies, it'll just treat them as one if that close together. So it looks like with these changes, they're basically saying you can move around easier, combat's going to be more tighter, you'll be able to gain more mana quickly, but you'll also be able to look out for and you'll not lose as much durability with your weapons. But it does mean also you're going to have to be a bit more strategic on when you use your mana, especially against bigger opponents. If you're struck by a powerful foe, you could be winded, causing you to lose a bit of mana from your gauge. So these are Giants, Elites, Red Skull Indicators, Ancients, and the roaming mini-bosses of Midgard. Anything with a yellow health bar like Fostergrim or Lindhorns. They've also changed up bows. Effectively, it looks like charge shots were just a bit too OP. The bow's going to be a lot easier to use, it's going to be more durable and more powerful. Pretty much damage from standard combo attacks with a bow has been increased. The damage and speed of aim charge shots was reduced, and have had the durability increased also. You can also adjust the shaking on the camera on the scale now in the options, as it does look like that will make the screen shake a bit more when you're hit or attacked by certain stuff. So the brand new build menu gives us all of this stuff. Obviously the Allforge, which will craft all the stations from, and then you'll be able to make a bed where you'll respawn. Your tool grinder for crafting all tools, including new fishing rods. The meal cauldron for crafting new meal recipes. There's a whole ton of them being added to the game. You still won't need water and food to stay alive. It's very still survival light, but you still gain buffs and bonuses from eating food. You've got a potion brewer for crafting your potions, weapons furnace for crafting your weapons, shield rack for crafting shields, the armor loom for crafting armor. Then we've got a defense workshop for crafting traps and watchtowers. Ammunition shelf for crafting specialised arrows. We've got a boat dock for crafting your own boats. The lumbering stand for crafting wood-based ingredients. And this is cool. So they pretty much took obviously the utility NPC or the resource one and have separated it into 4 different little crafting stations. Tanning stand for all your leather, fur and yarn. The mining stand for your stone or an iron. They've also got the artifact altar for crafting artifacts. So I guess we might not get as many drops from places or certain things. So you're going to have to craft them yourself to maybe access some of the Jotun in their arenas. Or obviously the Saga bosses or Ancients that are now in the game. The construction bench, rig or table is where you're going to get stuff like your walls, your stairs, your roofs. And the portal shrine. You can fast travel between other shrines now. So I guess you're going to have to craft these and then carry them in your inventory. They've obviously got the bonfires to give you some warmth. And we've got plenty of storage, box, trunk and chest. So I'm guessing they're the upgrades for it. And just like it is in the main game, you'll share your resources with your tribe, and you can get more inventory space by upgrading the higher rarity storage boxes from improved construction stations. So it does look like you'll be able to go ahead and upgrade these, or certainly here the construction bench then gets upgraded to the rig, then gets upgraded to the table. So with all this going on, building your bases, Viking lodges, what have we got? Well, you can lay a nice floor out of twig, wood or stone in the ground. You've got wall slope, pillar, beams, angle beams, stairs, roof, flat roof, roof cross, fence, barrier, door, double door, frame, angel frame, dragon ornament, the watchtower, so that will come with an archer straight away. You can create your own effigies of life, haste and mana, that's pretty good. And there's a whole bunch of decorative items as well. Torch, brazier, horse idol, dragon idol, banner, chains of Fenrir, fangs of Jormungandr or shard of Surtur. It does look like all of these decorations are unlocked as challenge rewards with the exception of the torch, which is available by default. So onto the foods. As I said, you don't need food to stay alive, but you do need it to get extra buffs. It's pretty much going to help you heal just like potions as well. They won't be as strong as potions, but you will be able to carry more of these. So we've got sap juice, fish skewer, they both do small heals. Grilled meat, marine salad do moderate heal, and a fish platter is a large heal. Then we've got cold proof seafood 1 and 2, which gives you resistance to cold for 1 or 2 minutes, and then heat proof of seafood 1 and 2, which gives you resistance to heat for 1 or 2 minutes. They've got new crafted equipment recipes, So obviously we've got the brand new spear, and these look great. There's a whole different batch of them. The villager spear, stylish leaping thrust attacks that strikes in a long line. And then Alvis spear, you've got the flurry, which unleashes a flurry of 3 rapid fire attacks, upgrades to flurry plus at rare tier. And then healing call, raise your spear up high and call down some healing orbs. But that is only available by a season reward. We've got the new Alvis armor set as well, which helps boost up your spear damage. Each piece of the Alvis armor, you'll get more damage from spears. And again, that's another challenge reward. There is a lot of stuff going on with these spears. It definitely deserves a proper video taking a look at all of its abilities. But just know there's plenty of new armor sets, and of course obviously which do extra damage with spears, and of course lots and lots of spears that have lots of abilities. And then of course we've got new enemies. They showed off some of this in their live stream yesterday. The lava tear, it's basically like a lava slime that grows up. In fact, it's actually the other way. They start off as big, and once you do damage, they end up becoming double little mini creatures that might explode. And the enemies also have new constructs too, like a fire turret, the Brennerfell watchtower, and we've got the new Brennerfell witch. Looks like the witch will be found mostly in the volcanic spire. And the forts that we're going to have to destroy to gain access to the volcanic spire, looks like they're going to be surrounded by the watchtowers and the fire turrets. Then we've got variants, I guess, muscle form. Then we've got variants, I guess, of some of the creatures, like the muscle lorm and the swarm. So now these guys are going to breathe fire. And it does look like this guy is going to be a water enemy. When you're in your ship or your boat, they'll actually pop out of the water and spit at you. They've got a bunch of new critters as well. So more ways to get fur. The fox, the hare, the arctic fox, the snowy owl and the vulture. These can all be found in different biomes. So yeah, the new outposts have obviously been added, and we know that we're going to get lots of loot by clearing them out. But then even in the volcanic spire, there is still these volcanic spire camps. And this is where we're going to find the fire turrets spewing flame and the watchtowers. Okay, so it's not in every camp, still only in the volcanic spire. So I guess it's a bit like season 2, where you'd have to go to obviously the water or the unsunken outposts. It does look like there's something a bit different with how you actually gain access to the lair entrance. It's basically going to be like a gauntlet, going up some steps. And you have to defeat 2 elite generals even before you take on Surta. Now onto the fishing. This is what you can get: cod, kelp, herring and salmon. So I'm guessing that's going to be used for some of them food recipes. I figured we'd probably get some extra loot from fishing. Maybe that'll be down later on. And we've got a huge amount of new runes. They've been teasing some of these in the last few weeks. Daughter of Agar increased swim speed by 75%. Chef's Kiss increased healing from meals and potions by 50%. Increased damage dealt to Saga bosses by 10% with the Eye of Odin. The Night Owl rune gives you a basic chance to get some of the night resources when harvesting during the day. Boulder Weaver gives you a combo attack, giving a 20% chance to generate a projectile that not only gives low damage but will actually trap enemies in their place. Mimir's Well, defeated enemies have a 20% chance to activate a well power that pulls everything towards it and explodes for higher dark damage. They've got Shrug It, a 10% chance to nullify the damage from an attack. And then we've got Fenrir rune, nullifies durability on equipment. Your Mando rune, enable infinite endurance when swimming. And Surta's rune, nullifies hot temperature effects. That's pretty cool. These are like obviously really legendary epic tier runes. So one of the biggest changes is that you no longer have just 5 runes in your inventory. You can now hold up to 30. But you still can only equip 5 unless you're a warden with 6. So you can chop and change whenever you want without that fear that you're throwing away something that you might need. I've got new start kits as well. The Nocturnal start kit, you'll get a Night Owl rune and 1 knot for speed rune. The Boatless Angler start kit gives you a fishing rod, the Daughter of Agar rune ×2 and Waystone potion. So you'll be able to swim around anywhere you want and do lots of fishing. The Gourmet start kit gives you a chance to have a fish platter ×1, health potion 3 and Chef's Kiss rune. And the Hard to Lay 4 kit, this will give you a chance to have the Eye of 4 rune and the Eye of Odin rune, meaning you'll do, I guess, more damage against giants. And finally, the Dual Weaver start kit. Equip this start kit to begin a new world with Boulder Weaver rune and Cider Weaver rune. And yes, I know I murder all these names. Now, there is something brand new as well. Valkyrie Delivery, a new item. If your loot chest is halfway across the world, the loot delivery consumable will instantly reclaim all of your lost loot belongings across all of your loot chests, return them directly to your inventory, satisfaction guaranteed. You'll be able to spend golden horns on these from any sorcerer in either mode, survival or saga. That's pretty cool. They've got a new event variant, Unsunken Prisoner. Prisoner events will spawn in the Ash Beach with unsunken enemies having taken Port Otto. And of course there is a brand new reward track. 49 new levels and 49 new rewards await. And just like in previous seasons, the rewards will now shift to the shop and can be bought with golden horns. Does look like there's a whole bunch of new challenges as well. We've got the new class challenge times 40, new Saga challenges times 4. So these are obviously based on taking out the new ancient. And yes, a new challenge for defeating all 3 in a single world. And they've got 18 brand new survival challenges. They've also got 9 personal quests, which will basically guide you towards Season 3 features and locations. So there is a huge amount of cosmetic items now that you'll unlock by completing the new class challenges. I won't go through this too much, but you get the idea. Villager bundle, Amber bundle, Serpent bundle, just basically new stuff that you can buy with your golden horns, or I'm sure some of the mythic coins. Yeah, they look alright. A big new feature is that pets have now a use. So completing all of the class challenges, you will get this exclusive brand new armor cosmetic set for each one. And again, you get the idea, these look pretty cool. They've got brand new hairstyles, new portraits, and they've got the new loot chest which will look like the Allforge from Survival. These can be unlocked via the season rewards. A new Fallen Valkyrie set update, so you can complete the set. There's a whole bunch of new cosmetic spears. So any sets that you previously bought, you will get a nice looking spear cosmetic skin with them. Now with all of them cosmetics, you can now go ahead and transmute previous in-game armor set recipes into cosmetic skins for you to equip at any time from the customized menu. So you can change the look of your armor sets whenever you want now, I guess, depending on what you've already unlocked. They've added a new rarity level, yeah. It's called Cosmic and apparently it's going to have better visuals, audio and effects. I'm guessing they're going to be more expensive, but whatever. Tribes of Midgard, I would say, is probably one of the fairer, I guess, using that word, games that has this. Certainly a lot better than Conan Exiles. They'll collect resources that are dropped except for runes. Basically, they'll give you a little bit extra area so that you can gather stuff as you're running around. I've always felt like pets were just a bit of an annoyance, but at least now they do have some sort of use, and obviously they've got brand new ones. Looks like Baby Surta won't be unlocked until you've completed the rewards track, and everyone does get one pet. You've got that techno sort of drone. That's the free one, which kind of feels a bit rubbish. I know Tribes of Midgard can be a little bit more cyberpunk or cyber Viking, but I would have preferred more traditional pet as the free one for everyone. But I'm sure it won't take too long to maybe earn some of these. So with your pet looting, you can actually turn it on or off. They'll gather materials and resources, but they won't auto loot equipment, runes, golden horns or season XP drops. And yeah, you can turn off the actual look of the pet. There's going to be a setting in the menu that you can turn it off but still get the buff from it. Okay, I'm going to fire these off now as these are all balance adjustments. They've adjusted the player difficulty, especially when you're with other players, to be more linear. Players will now have a small armor value when naked instead of 0. Iron deposits now drop ore 100% of the time on Harvest Destroy. Rock deposits now drop flint 100% of the time on Harvest Destroy. Village Watchtower range has been reduced by 25%, but damage and arrow speeds have been increased. Sorcerers sell more basic materials in Saga mode. They'll also sell more potions in Saga mode. The Village War Chest has loaded amounts of slots for the multiple item types. Attack angles, pushback, timing and damage values have been slightly adjusted for all weapons. Combo attacks to maintain parity between them all. The Nornit Axe 1 and 2 healing rate has been increased to 2.5 seconds from 2 seconds. The Alvis Hammer healing amount has been increased to 800 instead of 600. The Golvig armor is now rare, with Embers taking its place as the epic fire resistant armor. Berserker critical hits 1 and 2 now increases the blessing to 25% from 20 and 50% from 40. Goblin run speed has been decreased to be 10% lower than players' run speed, so you can finally outrun the little buggers. And Docklefire Archer's run speed has been decreased to 15% lower than players' run speed. They've also reduced Brennerfell elite stats by 10% to 20%. Healthing soul drop chance is now 100% instead of 75% for all Healthings. And the amount of souls that you get is now doubled for all Healthings. Halugi attack cooldowns have been reduced from 5% to 20% in Saga mode. And Halugi fire spit projectile speed has increased by 5%, making it a little bit tougher. Fenris Scream no longer pushes back or cancels attack. The Doom Howler HP has been increased by 5%. The Doom Howler armor has been decreased by 15%. Huge amount changes basically to Doom Howler and the Fenris boss fights. Some parts have been buffed and they've made it maybe a little bit more difficult in terms of the adds that spawn alongside it. Likewise the same for Yamunda. It seems like the speed of the attacks is going to be quicker, but they've also buffed the health or reduced the armour. You don't lose all of your souls anymore, only 75% of them when you die. Boats have been buffed a little bit with their window damage. Effectively, you're not going to get ruined because you got stuck on a rock. There'll be a small invincibility little window. There's now a repair all items when you go to repair your tools and armour. Donate full amount of a single material. They've also got a brand new war chest, place all iteration. Arrows will now be crafted in bundles rather than individually. And likewise, flint and branches can also be refined in bundles. I guess this is to help with survival mode and not carrying too many items. Villager stations will open all night. So if they do get attacked, as long as you started talking to them before the attack, you'll still be able to buy stuff from them. There's also brand new icons to show that the village gates are open or closed. If you're talking to an NPC but you get attacked, it will automatically shut off the encounter. You can turn around and kill whatever was interrupting you. Automatic treasure maps are now consumed when you pick them up. You don't actually have to press down to use them. So they'll no longer use a consumable slot. When defeating critters, crabs, foxes, deers, they have a chance to drop healing orbs. This is helpful to sustain your HP, especially in the early game. Autosave update has been worked so it's no longer based on the day itself but a standard 10-minute timer. This is to help with survival days, obviously now they're longer. You'll also get additional save points when you're completing milestones such as defeating Jotun and Saga bosses, or when a player leaves the world. So obviously I've said before you can now rotate the camera when you're building, and you can also raise or load construction grid when in build mode. Bifrost is now a temperature safe zone and construction safe zone. There's new quest selections when you enter the Saga mode. The Saga quest selection UI will now render, prompting a path to track, but the rest of the personal quests will still be available at the quest board. So they've added a season XP gauge and level ups. This will go above your avatar level in survival, so pretty much you'll be able to see when you've gained enough XP, and you'll get a season level up effect while still in game. They've also improved the UI for your allies. It will now show the power level and character level of each player's Viking, and it'll be listed around or next to their name as they are in the world. Some more changes to the UI, making things easier for underpasses, hideouts and lairs to stand out, and changes to the main menus and stuff. You can also hide challenges if you want to get rid of the daily, weekly and festival challenges displayed on the main menu. A bunch of new key bindings for PC, and just a whole bunch of options to do with quitting and in the settings menus, with new colour bind filters and intensity settings too. There's a bunch of new visual effect improvements across blessings, weapons and runes to help with performance, then some quality of life issues fixed as well. The stone that you spawn in will now be used to track Saga quests. When Saga quests are completed, the corresponding ancients are slain, the markings on the stones will light up, signalling the great victory and the fall of a great foe. They've also added a new Jotun Saga prologue quest centered on gearing up to defeat your first giant in Saga mode. Is that new? I'm sure we've done that before. I guess maybe it shows on the stone. Quest NPCs will now speak to you instead of just standing there weirdly. Pretty much just tell you to go to the quest board and then use the quest to get it. Kind of feel like they should just make it that you can get that quest from that NPC, but whatever. Wolves have been updated across their looks as well as their power and threat level to show better, and a bunch of new animations and stuff. They've also got an event going on, August the 23rd to September the 12th, their 1 year anniversary. The village and the main menu is going to get a makeover, brand new costume enemies and 3 new festive challenges. And there's a few issues with bow attacks, the spear weapon and the Fostergrim not having certain stuff like effects or buffs being applied even after you've killed the Fostergrim. And that is that. That's a lengthy old video, but hopefully it's given you a taste of what to expect if you're an old school Tribes of Midgard player. And even if you're new, it gives you hopefully an idea of what to expect as well. I'll have much quicker, shorter videos giving you all the guides and details and proper looks at gameplay in the near future. So check out my channel, go and check out all the older guides I've done which will still be good, and I'll see you rat bags later.